Hey everybody, and welcome to part 4, sorry I'm fixing it, part 4 of my Smash Brothers 6 videos. This is the items video based on the Pokeballs, the assist trophies, and the Yokai Watch, which the Yokai Watch is a new edition that works the same as Pokeballs and assist trophies. So if you haven't seen part 1, part 2, or part 3, you need to go watch those before even seeing this video or doing whatever order you want. You're just going to miss out on a couple details. Anyways, let's move into the Pokeballs, and as you can see at the top, shiny Pokemon are now rare to find out of Pokeballs. Just a little thing to add more flavor to the game. And, yep, here we have Beedrill. Multiple Beedrills swim across the screen. We're only going to go talk about the characters who are returning, variant Pokemon, which we'll see later, and we're not going to really talk about, we're going to talk about the returning ones. So we're going to talk about newly returning ones, like Beedrill, who was one of the more original Pokemon who was cut. We're going to talk about those, but we're not going to talk about returning ones from Ultimate. And Clefairy does a random move. It's a random move. Returning character here. And then we have, let's get into the Pokemon for real this time. We have Vulpix, Alolan Vulpix, which is one of the variant ones I'm talking about, so you'll see that in a bit. Meowth and Galarian Meowth, who does the exact same thing. This is a variant. Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix are not variants since they do different ones. However, Meowth and Galarian Meowth are different. Or no, sorry, they're not different. They are variants because they do the exact same thing. And then we move on to Abra, Onix, who makes boulders fall down onto the stage, Electrode and Hisuian Electrode, which Hisuian is the variant, Alolan Exeggutor, Hitmonlee, who does a dive kick, and then Weezing, who makes an area of damage, Chansey, Goldeen, Chansey throws eggs and when broken drops items. Staryu and Starmie, who do the exact same thing, Ditto, and Eevee now has changed. Eevee does something different. Eevee changes into one of the 3 evolutions, Vaporeon, Jolteon, or Flareon, who do nearly the same thing. Vaporeon shoots water blasts, Jolteon does a shot of lightning, and Flareon shoots small bits of fire. And then we have Snorlax, and now here's where we get a little different. Articuno makes an icy wind around them. Then we have Galarian Articuno, who's not a variant. Galarian Articuno goes into the air and makes icy winds going down at the opponents. Zapdos makes a wave of electricity around them, and Galarian Zapdos dashes across the stream, leaving a track of electricity behind. Moltres, another returning character, just does flying, fire, boring. Galarian Moltres, on the other hand, shoots fire down at the stage. Awesome. And the Mew's just a cameo, basically. That's all Mew does. Cyndaquil jumps into the air, shoots fire out his back. Togepi. Then we have Bellossom. Meryl runs across the stage, and the unknowns also go across the stage. All 28 unknown. And then there's Wobbuffet, who attacks you back if you attack them. Scizor, Porygon 2, dashes fast at the opponents, dealing high knockback damage. And then Raikou makes an electric field on the floor. Entei, Suicune, Lugia, Ho-Oh makes a giant meteor slam down. Torchic just makes a fiery aura around them. Gardevoir, Gulpin, Metagross, Latias and Latios, Kyogre. Groudon is finally fixed. Groudon just breathes a bunch of fire because Groudon in the original appearance that he had was garbage. He just made an aura of fire around him. It was bad. It was terrible. Had no range. Jirachi just runs and punches someone and then leaves. Jirachi was the same thing as Mew back then, and so Mew was added, and so Jirachi's just not very valid, and so Jirachi can just get a little bit of damage out and then leaves. Basically the Goldeen of a Master Ball. Deoxys attack form. Bonsly works as a heavy item. Munchlax will eat anything on the ground. Abomasnow. Weavile just dashes and stuns the opponents. Dialga, and I chose the origin form here for both of the characters. So you'll see Dialga origin form, who slows down opponents. And Palkia's origin form. Giratina as well as origin form. Darkrai, Arceus, Victini, Snivy, Oshawott, Zoroark, and Hisuian Zoroark. And I decided to put Hisuian Zoroark because it's one of my favorite Pokemon. Kyurem, Keldeo Resolute form, Meloetta, Genesect, Chespin, Fennekin, Fletchling, Spupa, Go-Goat, Swirlix, Inkay, Dedenne, Xerneas, Beware, Pikamikamiku, I don't know how to say his name, Togedemaru, Mimikyu, one of my personal favorites. I think Mimikyu is probably my favorite Pokemon. Tapu Koko, Solgaleo, Lunala, Marshadow, and here's where we get into the truly new Pokemon. So we're going to get into Toxtricity Loki, who Toxtricity Loki uses a guitar made from electricity and shoots electric blasts at the nearest opponents. Hatterene, one of the more iconic characters in Sword and Shield, throws magic power on the opponent and stuns them. The Phalanx make it so you're not able to fall off the stage and you get buffs. Zacian Crowned, Zacian Sword gets really big and slashes the screen, and this is the same thing with Zamazenta, except Zamazenta runs across the screen because Zamazenta is a shield. And then Zarude will lift you into the air and start healing you. Basque Legion dashes the opponent and starts biting them. Sneasler does one X shot across the entire screen. Armarouge puts his hands together and makes a giant fire blast, while Cerulege gathers energy and runs at the opponent, spinning and hitting them with his blades. Screamtail screams. Gholdengo makes it rain gold coins, and these coins can be used to throw at each other, and Gholdengo quickly runs and picks them back up. Iron Valiant raises his spear and buffs your attack, speed, and knockback. Koraidon goes into a ball, you know, the way the way he kind of turns into a motorcycle, he can do the same thing, I think, as a ball. Goes into the air, flies around, and slams at opponents before disappearing, and Miraidon does the exact same thing. And then Ogerpon has a 1 in 4 chance of getting either the grass, fire, rock, or water. So grass, you get a buff. Fire, she shoots fireballs. If rock, she drops a rock onto the stage. And if water, she shoots small water shots. And then Terapagos, who will end off our Pokemon here, shoots, he targets one of the opponents and then shoots stars at them. So those are the Pokemon. But what about the assist trophies? Well, if you don't know what assist trophy is, if you're living under a rock, an assist trophy is a character in Smash that was just not good enough. They're associated with Nintendo, or owned by Nintendo, or just near Nintendo, or just like a third party. Their character is just not good enough to be their own character, like Guile. And I'll say here, we're not going to really talk about, just like the Pokemon, the returning characters, except if they're returning in old. So if they were an Ultimate, we're not going to talk about them. So we have Guile, Squid Sisters, and these Squid Sisters are special here because they have variants as well, who are Off the Hook and Deep Cut. Then we have Akira Yuki, Gray Fox, Broing Snarget, Moon, Chef Kawasaki, Rathalos, Midna, Jeff, Samurai Goro, Ghosts, Black Knight, Rodin, Knuckles, Yuriko Zakuta, Sugapon, Arcade Bunny, Claptrap, Cap'n, Thwomp, Springman. I don't know how to say this dude's name. I've never known how to say his name. It's like Gihirahim. Phosphora, which one of the characters I did plan for this game, who did get cut, which is crazy. I really wanted to add her, was Phosphora. I wanted to add her so bad because I don't play Kid Icarus characters, but I love this design, and I really wanted to do research on Kid Icarus. I still do have a Kid Icarus character in the DLC, which is the video after this one. Go check that out. Color TV Game 15, Chain Chomp, Metroid, Mother Brain, Andross, Knuckle Joe, Nintendogs, which the Nintendog has changed for this game, being the Shiba. And I was considering adding the Nintendog as its own playable character. Same with Starfy from The Legend of Starfy, Prince Sable, Sheriff, Dylan, Wily's Capsule, Flies in Hand, Vince. Tiki was also another character I really wanted to add to this game because I wanted to get more into Fire Emblem at this point, but I decided to scrap her and put Lynn in the game. Nikki, Nightmare, Hammer Bro, Starman from Mother Earthbound, Devil, Dr. Wright, Dr. Kawashima, Riki, which I did plan Riki to be a playable character too, and now we move to new characters with Bub, who was also planned as a playable character from Bubble Pop, and he will start shooting bubbles everywhere that will eventually explode if contacted with two of the same color. And then Danchan was also considered to be a playable character. I really, really wanted to be have Danchan, but I think they fit better as an assist trophy, and he brings out a drum and hits it. Notes appear on top of the screen, and every note that's hit makes the stage rumble. And then Poochie, runs and headbutts. Same with Prince Tricky, walks slowly, headbutting. Jimmy T dashes and shoots music notes around, and the Wii Fit Balance Board, who is returning, if I remember it's returning, sends balls of light and heals you. I think it's not returning. Teddy from Persona. Teddy either does one of three things. I personally don't play Persona, so I just, I made something up. Jumping and slamming down on the stage as a large weight, throwing a fast baseball going around the stage, or Alice will come out and throw the black hole item. The gas from Minecraft will shoot fireballs, and the wandering trader will just start throwing items everywhere. Baby Bonnie Hood from Darkstalkers was a character I also really, really wanted to be playable, along with, I forgot the other dude's name. I haven't played Darkstalkers. I do like the game, though. I think it's good. She pulls out a rocket launcher and shoots a giant rocket. And then Plague Knight was also another character I considered being playable. So it's jumping around, throwing bombs of poison. The Atlesian Knight 290 from Ruby. I have a Ruby character in the roster, which is Ruby. It drives forward across the stage, starts shooting its turrets. And then we get to the weirder ones with the Book Club from Doki Doki Literature. The four spawn and drop items. So Sayori will drop presents, Natsuki drops food, Yuri drops blade weapons, and Monica drops bombs. And then the eShop bag from the Nintendo eShop. It starts bouncing around and headbutting opponents, and if someone's hit, it drops an item. And then Wizard from Stardew Valley, he starts throwing potions, some heal, burn, freeze, or stun. Vault Boy from Fallout, he throws 2 small crates with Master Balls in them, and they become instantly open, and all these Master Balls go on friendly fire. Then the Imposter from Among Us. It runs stabbing, spiking opponents. And then Jonesy from Fortnite. This is Smash Bros. If it's Nintendo associated, they're having anybody. He's just running around, shooting attack shotgun, and building random, very weak stairs and walls. So this would just act the same way that Steve's blocks do. And then Matthew from Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Wait a minute. Matthew's not supposed to be here, guys. Hold up. Hey. Leave. Yeah, as you can see, the next character. Matthew is not supposed to be there. I don't know why he was there, because he's playable. He's in my roster. So I don't know why he was there. And you just saw another character. Anyways, the Lamb from Gold the Lamb will dash around, punching and shooting and slashing. And then Barbara, who's returning from Jam with the Band, creates a music field drawing opponents in. And here's where we get to the returning characters. The Hellerin from Kurukurukurin. It acts as a spinning platform. The Infantry from Advance Wars, they walk around shooting small tanks and guns. And Jill, she just runs quickly and drills. Cat and Anna dash across the screen. Lakitu throws down Spinies that will run around dealing impact damage. Mr. Rossetti pops out in the middle stage, yells, making his text bubble, just block a bit of it. And then Ray Mark III, he jumps around and shoots small missiles. Saki, who I did want to be playable from Sin and Punishment, shoots her gun and swings her sword. And then Tingle does random things, so he can either throw bananas, throw hammers, give everybody the curry effect, zap everyone, give them all super mushrooms, meta all. There's a bunch of stuff he can do. Electman shoots out bolts of lightning. Magnus from Kid Icarus will walk around swinging his large sword. I gotta have a Vocaloid rep in there somewhere, so the Kagamin twins start singing, shooting notes everywhere. And then Amelia N, she throws items like the Super Mushroom and Star Wand, and then watches everybody fight for the match. If someone is KO'd, she will throw another Super Mushroom. And then the Tetranome from Tetris, they just fall into the stage. And Mickey from Disney Illusion Island. I don't know how they would do this, but put him in the game, specifically Illusion Island's Mickey, because this one is more Nintendo associated than like any other console. He starts throwing a bunch of items. And then Goofy and Donald from King of Hearts. Donald shoots a small laser blast, and Goofy runs, hitting people with a shield. The viruses from Dr. Mario, they run across the screen. And so those are all of our assist trophies. But what about the Yokai? Well, if you don't know anything about Yokai Watch, Yokai are everywhere, causing you problems, messing up your hair. They'll trip you up, give you a flat tire, or make your socks go messing in the dryer. Basically, they are the personification of anything. They can be snake gods. They can be just utter crap. They do anything basically just to mess up your day. That's all a yokai is. except for Whisper. Whisper's stupid. But we're going to get into all the yokai here. So starting off with our base yokai, we have Whisper from Yokai Watch. Whisper just drops a Pokeball, an assist trophy, and a Yokai Watch. Then we have Komasan Komajiro. So it's either two things. Either Komasan, which is the white one, will use Spirit Dance, making fire everywhere, or Komajiro, the yellow one, will use Wild Zap, summoning bolts of lightning coming down. Bushido will start running across the stage, brushing and swinging his broom. Blazion, he'll send a Fire Fist towards the opponent. Hovernyan will fly forward, does a hard punch. Sergeant Burley gives everybody an attack buff. This is for everyone. Snartle will run and slash his swords. Wazat, he runs over and he bites onto the head of the opponent, damaging them over time, like the Metroid. Tattletale just does a large slap. Oh my gosh. Casanova made me sick. He shoots healing shots at you. Smogmella makes a tornado, sending everybody upward. And then Signaton, he strikes lightning down on himself, damaging everybody around him. Mirapo takes you and teleports you somewhere on the stage. Kyubi makes a large fireball, and then he throws it forward. Yes, that's a guy. If you don't watch Yokai Watch, that is a man. No Way just becomes a wall. Rough Raff will stare at the opponent and stun them. Mimikin can copy the last attack you used. Rolbanyan will shoot a fist missile. Total Dude will swing his hair around, catching anybody and throwing them. Silver Lining will send a tornado going forward, blowing people off stage. Caden will fly, slashing his sword. Popsicle will freeze anybody in the radius around him. Run Sure runs through everybody. Baku will snort and then make people sleep. Wakapa will, he makes waterfall in his vicinity. It's basically all he does. Thornyan will run and do impact damage, as well as stunts. And Jibakoma, he jumps in the air, curls into a ball, sending himself in flames at the opponent. Pook Evil, a curse is put on everybody. You are healed while the other opponents are damaged. Blizzy, not Blizzaria. If you know Yokai Watch, not Blizzaria. This is specifically Blizzy. Will put the characters all in the Buster Car, one of my favorite Yokai Watch games. Heals you, buffs you, and then damages the opponents when driving off. Whirlweasel will do a scythe spin. Fox Kappa will make a wave go across the stage. Master Nyata swings a hose, dealing minimal damage. Palisol makes a gust of wind, pushing the opponents back. Tungus, she'll lick you, giving you healing over time. The Dancing Trio, all of them dance, healing everyone. Happy Air, he runs through people and heals them. Odyssey, he reels over the opponent with his rod and then throws them. Papa Bolt, he sends out a bolt of electricity, while Mama Aura makes the floor a healing floor. Unikirin, he falls behind you, providing health each time you deal damage. Lead Noni grabs the opponent and sticks him in the ground. Ache and Pain are the only double yokai here, because why have Pain, why have Ache without each other? So Pain throws Ache to latch onto the opponent and damage them over time, while he jumps into the air and does a dive bomb into them. Negativebuzz, he falls the opponent, dealing damage over time. Dimmy, he goes into the ground and will randomly appear behind opponents, slashing them with his sword. Salty Bacon spreads small salt rocks that will explode. Suspicione steers the opponent and stuns them. Again, basically just a variant of Rough Raff. Hydabat barrel rolls into the opponents, making them sleep. Usipion goes into Vader mode and shoots everybody in his radius, wildfire. And then Cough Cough makes a area of damage around him. Mangy Mutt runs into the opponents and headbutts them. The No Sirs, they spin in a circle and start moving across the stage. Dismeralda makes the stage a poison-friendly fire stage. Insomnia, you're immune to any ill effects for 30 seconds. Arachnus makes webs that stun the opponent if walked in. Little Charmer makes an uproar of fire in front of her. Noko just summons a bunch of Nokos, so it's the same thing as the Beedrill one. He runs around, and if hit, you're healed. Lunatic, if you run into him, he grabs you and stabs you. And then Firewig will run and smack the opponents, while Draggy will drop a large boulder into the middle of the stage. Remember, Donna drops a bunch of items. Babylon is the same thing as Mr. Rossetti, except it's way worse. Venoct summons 2 large snakes to fly across the stream. Cyborg Y shoots a small beam from his belly. Unkind walks over, heals you, and then makes a barrier around you, having no projectiles being able to hit you. And Unkeen slowly walks, delivering large punches. Shogun Yan runs around slashing his sword. Professor puts opponents to sleep. Ultimate Raban Yan lets out a large beam and flies and punches the opponents. Lord Enma makes a large flame of fire on the map, slashes sword at opponents. And then we move into the Japanese game, which is really good, I'd say. But these names are very different from every other. So you have Kyunshi, Shadow Side. She slowly walks around throwing arrows. Blazaria's Shadow Side flies into the air, freezing opponents. And then Junior's Light Side swaps through a couple of yokai. He can either become Venoct, Shogun Yan, Lord Enma, Unkeen, Arachnus, using their abilities, and he swaps to 3 of them in one summon. Then we move to bosses with Slimemander, who sits in the background spewing fire out of each mouth. Sproink, who spins around the stage. SV Snaggerjag will grab the opponent, stick them in the ground. Demuncher will swallow and then spit out the opponent. Rubius J throws around sticks of dynamite. Hardy Hound grabs the opponent and sticks them in the ground and then pelts them with skulls. He Knows All starts shooting flames from under his desk. Rabanyan 28 shoots multiple lasers and bullets. Pink Emperor has a bunch of fire. And then Goku Shogunyan to end it off from Puni Puni. Puni Puni is probably the best Yokai Watch game, only exclusive to Japan, which sucks. Goku Shogunyan slowly strikes his opponent, spiking them. And so that is all we have for this one. Now, these are all the Pokemon, Yokai, and the assist trophies. If you want to, see more of this type of content, recommend ideas you have, and I can start building them up. I have an Invincible game, which I have a prediction for the roster of Invincible versus that could come soon. The Date Everything video is confirmed for September, hopefully. Part 5 will come out possibly tomorrow or right after this video. We'll have to see. And I got other things planned, like a Dead by Daylight video. I have more streams planned. But anyways, that's all I gotta say for this one. Hope you all had a good rest of your day, night, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Have a good time. Goodbye.